Alright, this video is going to be about how to do the modular design. I know people have a hard time with this sometimes, making the files play nice together, because you end up including the same file more than once, and then your compiler's mad at you. So if you look, this main is just like a toy main. It doesn't matter that I'm not doing anything with the structs in here. The point is the files. So like if you look at the includes here, maxheap.h, bst.h, hashtable.h, and you look at those, they all include the defins.h file, which is good because if they didn't, then your functions wouldn't have access to these structs, and then they wouldn't know what they were doing, or they wouldn't know what they were, and then you get an error type. So, I mean, this is the defins file. You guys all have this, but so like if we look at this max heap, this is like the function that I made. It just prints a node. It's not that serious, but if you look, it has access to the struct because maxheap.h is including defins.h, which has access to the struct, right? Or defines the struct for you. But if you go in and you delete this, and you save it, and then you go back to maxheap, now this is an error type. It has no idea what this struct is because no longer does it have access to that file where it's defined. Why it's not giving me squigglies, I don't know. But anyway, if we go back and we put the defins.h back in there, now we have access again, and it's struct sock. It knows what it is. But the issue with that is what's going to happen when you compile. Main is calling max heap include first, so then it's going to call the include from defins, and now this is defined in above your main, and then you're going to go back and it's going to say, okay, now I need the BST. BST is going to try to define define or include the defins.h file. And it's going to be mad because now you're trying to rename all these structs that you already declared. So if we do this make, you can look at these errors you get. You get a redefinition of structs, earnings, SOC, hash table, and like if you look include from bst.h, and then if you go down, you'll have include from maxheap.h. And these are all redefinition errors, right? Like, So what you're seeing is like these errors are generated from like multiple files trying to include this defins.h file. So the way you can get around that is by doing include guards. So you can go to your hash table and you would say if end-def, and then you need to give it a variable name. We'll do defins, and then we do define defins, and then we do endif. Okay, and basically what this does is it's saying, okay, if defins is not defined, then we're going to define it as being, and then whatever is between define and endif is going to be what you are defining defins to be, which in this case is the include defins.h file, and then your endif. And if we copy that over, save that, copy this over, and so now we have include guards around all these files. And so what's going to happen is main is going to include maxheap.h, and that will in turn define defins, right? And so after that, BST is going to try to include defins.h, and it's going to say, oh, never mind, we already have defined this, we don't need to worry about that anymore. And if we run make again, now it compiles, it's not mad, and we can execute our program.